This is Dr. David Shine, and welcome to Business Law 101. So the ownership of real estate includes a bundle of rights that are involved in the property, and of course they're also subject to division depending on how the ownership is structured. So the preferred way to own real estate is a fee simple absolute. It means you own that property as against any other potential owner. Nobody should be able to take that property away from you other than the state through the process of eminent domain. In contrast is something that goes back to medieval times, and that is the life estate. So the situation of life estate was that in medieval times, and I also refer to as feudal times, when the king and all those other cats, Game of Thrones, if you will, then what happened was that the king died, the queen could not inherit because she was female. So it would go to the oldest male heir. But the question was, do you throw the queen out on the street? And so people, being a little bit concerned about decorum, said, no. The queen has a life estate. So as long as she lives in the castle and until she dies or moves out of the castle, the oldest son cannot take control or keep the castle away from her, take her, or cause her to leave the castle. Now, in a lot of cases, you see a setting where they become what's called a dowager queen, and they're parked somewhere in the castle, but they don't run the castle anymore as they might have as the queen. And of course, that went away over time. As you know, we had very famous British queens, Queen Victoria and the current Queen Elizabeth. So it's, certainly things have changed quite a bit. Interestingly, life estates have taken on a second life under our current modern society. How about divorce? So here's your scenario. And you could even look at this with regard to Howard Hughes. Rather, not Howard Hughes, but J. Howard Marshall, in looking at the Anna Nicole Smith case. So say they were sharing a house and Marshall dies. Even if he left the house to his older son, Anna Nicole Smith would automatically have had a life estate to the family residence. And as long as she was alive and living in the house, she would have a right to stay there. That is a legally granted right under community property laws. But the reason this is coming up is because we have a lot of second marriage situations. And so what happens is that the first marriage, say the husband's the owner, the husband has a house, he raises a bunch of kids, they're all adults, and then he gets divorced, keeps the house, and he remarries. The second wife, he may not want to leave the house to, because he wants to leave the house, if it has a significant equity, for the benefit of his children from his first marriage. So he will set up a life estate for his second wife, but then when she either passes or moves out of the house, the equity in the house after the house is sold can go to the remaining heirs from his first marriage. So that's why you see an increase actually in life estate activity today. Two other terms that are you may see from time to time. The remainder is the rest of an estate after the termination of a life estate. So in our hypothetical, Anna Nicole Smith lives in the Marshall household. She dies from the diet pill thing. And since the life estate expired, the remainder would go to his designated heirs in the will. Reversion's a little bit different because this is a situation where the person violates the life estate and it reverts back to the grantor, who in most cases is going to be the person who got the ownership of the house after the death of the original owner.